Fahrenheit 451, written by American author Ray Bradbury, begins with Guy Montag, whose duty as a fireman is to incinerate literature and censored media. Montag meets Clarice McClellan, a young bubbly woman who becomes a routine part of his commute back home. Conversely, Montag's wife, Mildred, is a dull woman who prefers to spend her day listening to a program playing on her seashell, a small radio device. Seashells and parlor walls covered in television screens distract the public from their depressiveness and dissatisfaction. Clarice, who symbolizes individuality and critical thought, causes Montag to question himself with a simple yet impactful question: are you happy?
On duty, Montag and his crewmates arrive at a woman's house. While spraying the contraband with kerosene, Montag secretly snatches a copy of the Bible. Unwilling to abandon her books, the woman pulls out a kitchen match. Unable to convince her otherwise, the firemen scramble to escape. The house goes up in flames as Montag and the firemen return to the firehouse in silence. Montag returns home itching to read. This section of Fahrenheit 451 marks the beginning of Montag's journey to find the truths of society. Montag, still upset over the woman's demise, falls in sick to avoid any more destruction. Montag's captain, Beatty, hypothesizes that Montag has a book and gives him a choice: to hand over the book in 24 hours or to burn alongside it. Beatty criticizes literature, reminding Montag that firemen exist to maintain order. After Beatty leaves, Montag decides to talk to Faber, an old friend, to figure out what to do. Montag gives Faber the stolen Bible, convincing him to help Montag with a communication device called the Green Bullet. Later, Montag goes back to the fire department with a fake book to return. The firemen receive a report about a house called a contraband, and Montag realizes the location of his house is his own. Beatty forces Montag to pump his house with kerosene before setting this house on fire. Beatty informs Montag that Mildred, his own wife, filed the report. With his house ablaze, Montag reflects on his choices and thinks about what lies ahead of him.
Beatty berates Montag and the quarrel escalates. Montag hears Faber through the Green Bullet urging him to leave. However, Beatty strikes him. In retaliation, Montag readies his flamethrower and aims it at Beatty. Shocked, he tries to convince Montag to reconsider. Ignoring Beatty's pleas, Montag unleashes a stream of fire upon him. As Montag turns around, he sees the mechanical hound, a machine built to capture and sniff out criminals, stalking aggressively. In an instant, the hound pounces on Montag, injecting his leg with morphine. In response, Montag uses the flamethrower to engulf the hound in an inferno, exploding its metal interior.
Montag limps away in regret. He hears the disembodied voice of a public warning instructing citizens to look for Guy Montag, a now wanted fugitive. Frightened, Montag finds Faber. Unready to leave, Faber instructs Montag to run to the river. After barely escaping the helicopters flying overhead, he dives into the river, which carries him downstream. Venturing down the railroad tracks, he sees a bonfire with like-minded outcasts huddled around it. They invite Montag to travel with them, explaining how they each have preserved books in their memories.
Nearing the end, Montag and his new acquaintances escape the city, which is now under a declaration of war. While the group looks at the city in the distance, an atomic bomb strikes. The city is reduced to rubble, vaporizing everyone within. The ending of Fahrenheit 451 warns society about the impending destruction and absence of culture in a society numbed by virtual entertainment. Fahrenheit 451's cautions hold true now more than ever as virtual media spreads rapidly.